Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Champions card game, we continue on with Scenario 2 against Absorbing Man with Thor and Miss Marvel. So down at the table for setup, Absorbing Man's got a scheme of 2, attack of 2. He gains a trait of each environment in play. When revealed, if super absorbing power is in play, we deal an encounter card to each player. Otherwise, we search the encounter deck and discard pile for super absorbing power and reveal it, and then shuffle the encounter deck. 15 health per player. So super absorbing power. Scheme coming in with 3 per player. Gives him the ice, metal, stone, and wood traits. In our main scheme, we're using Absorbing Man, Standard, Expert, and a few extra experimental weapons. So we will have Energy Shield, Laser Rifle, and Power Gauntlets for the rest of this campaign. Setup, discard cards from the encounter deck until an environment is discarded. Put that card into play and shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Then we just have the one scheme here. We'll have a threshold of 12 per player, so 24. Force response, after resolving step 1 of the villain phase, place the delay counter here. Forced interrupt, when an environment enters play, discard each other environment card in play, and this starts with 2 threat per player on it. I'm going to play with the same decks I did before. I will go over deck construction at the end of the video. So I've got Thor with the power of aggression. Thor to 1, attack of 2, defense of 2. Have at thee as a response. After you engage a minion, draw 2 cards. Hand size of 4 and 14 health. Recovery of 4. Worthy action, search your deck and discard pile for the Mjolnir upgrade and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. Hand size of 5 on this side. And we're starting with this set up in our play area. Got a laser cannon. So hero action, deal 5 damage to the villain and each enemy engaged with you. Then Miss Marvel going with Justice. 1 for thwart, attack, and defense. Morphogenics. After you play an attack, thwart, or defense event, exhaust Miss Marvel to return that event to your hand. Hand size of 5 and 10 hit points. Alter Ego, recovery of 5, Teen Spirit. Action, discard cards from the top of your deck and 2, discard a Miss Marvel card. Then add that card to your hand and a hand size of 6. And she's got Adrenal Stem starting in. So hero action, ready your hero and heal 5 damage from them. All right, finishing up our setup. Need to go looking for environment card. Fortunately, these will get shuffled back in. So found an abandoned facility. We ignore Surge because we're not revealing. After he makes an undefended attack against you, discard a resource icon from your hand. 2 resources instead if there are 5 or more delay counters on the main scheme. And these get shuffled back in. So then Thor is going to get 5 cards. Hopefully we can get him set up for resources and allies out early. And the same thing with Kamala. I am running the same decks as last time. Feel like they should have worked better. So Relentless Assault, no good when we don't have enemies in play. For Asgard, God of Thunder. I know I want to get rid of that one. And I think I'll just keep those. Well, we'll get rid of that one too. Drawing 2 more. A Mean Swing and Power of Aggression. And 6 cards on this side. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Embiggen, Spycraft, big hands, strength, and downtime. Well, strength is the only one that's jumping out to me. So Power of Justice, Nick Fury, Wiggle Room, Clear the Area, and a Power of Justice. So we start for his turn, going searching for his hammer. And honestly, there's really no sense in me shuffling at the moment because I'm going searching for that in just a bit. So we've got our hammer. We're going to play for Asgard. Search your deck and discard pile for an Asgard, for a card with the Asgard trait, and add it to your hand and shuffle our deck. We're going in for God of Thunder. We're not going to get powerful, but we're going to get resources put in or set up to be put in here shortly. All right, so God of Thunder comes in. It's a hero resource. Exhaust that to generate a energy resource. Save first to flip over. But we're just going to put our hammer in play and swing for 3. Down to 27. And on this side, we're going to use her ability to go looking for one of her cards, finding the red dagger. We're then going to bring in Nick Fury for 4, using his ability to draw 3 cards. Clear the area, shrink, and energy. We'll go ahead and put Shrink in as a hero interrupt. When you play a thwart event, exhaust Shrink, increase the amount of that threat event removes by 2. So we'll flip over. Nick will thwart for 2. We're going to clear the area, removing 2 threat, 4 threat, and then if that removes the rest of the scheme, we'll draw a card. So that's taken care of. We draw into a polymer suit, which we will go ahead and put in play. Hero resource, exhaust that to generate a wild resource for an event. To clear the area again, removing 2 threat and drawing another card. For Justice. Then she will swing for 1. And end her turn. Don't think I'll need that next round. I am going to keep those 2 just in hopes. So Brawn and get over here. Then on this side, 5 cards. Clear the area. Bruno, Mockingbird, Sneak By, and Amir. So get 2 threat and a delay counter. Absorbing Man's going to attack on this side. I think we're just going to take it. I've got to discard a resource. No, I think instead Nick Fury's going to defend for him. So 1, 2, 5 damage. On this side, she'll defend. So base 2, 3, so 2 damage comes through and it's not undefended. Counter cards. Hydra Patrol. When defeated, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play engaged with them. Shuffle encounter deck. So 4 threat on that. And then stall tactics. Place a threat on the main scheme for every 2 delay counters on the main scheme. Well, there's only 1. No threat was placed. Gain surge to a Hydra soldier. Scheme of 1, attack of 2 for health, guard, and when defeated, we get an encounter card. So we move that over. Yep, we'll use that to pay for this event. To remove 4 threat from a scheme, and we're going to end up drawing a card, among other things. So we've got to go find some Hydra minions and put them into play. Not revealing. And we've got some 2 health guys in here. Somewhere. All right, there they are. So each one of us is getting a scheme of 1, attack of 2, 2 health. The insight 1 is ignored. Shuffle this up. For clear the area, she gets to draw a card into downtime. For getting engaged with a minion, we get to draw 2 cards. So Mockingbird in combat training. She's going to flip over, use her ability, Found Nakia. We're going to bring her into play. As an alter ego action, exhaust her to reduce the cost of the next card you play this phase by 1. To bring in a mirror, alter ego action, exhaust him to place a card from your discard pile on the bottom of your deck, then draw a card. I think we're going to put our ally on the bottom. In the big hands. Then we'll bring in Mockingbird. After she enters play, stun an enemy. And that will be Absorbing Man that we stun. She will attack for 1. All right, we're going to bring in God of Thunder. Let's get over here and this God of Thunder. Then we'll bring in Brawn with that and the other one. Thwart a 1, attack a 1, 5 health. After he attacks, remove a threat from a scheme. So bring him in, swing for 1 on this guy. Remove a threat. Then we're going to swing for 3. And end her turn. We'll go one more round holding on to combat training. Strength, Helicarrier, and a hammer throw. 6 cards on this side. Sneak by, Helicarrier for justice, counter intelligence, genius, and under surveillance. So get 2 threats. Another counter. Goes to attack, lose stunned. Scheming over here for base 2, 3, and he comes in for a 4th. And counter cards, Steel Kick, Alter Ego, place 2 threat on the main scheme, 3 if he has the metal trait, which he does. And the villain attacks you. Well, he does have a threat on him. Or damage, defending, base 2, 3, 4. If he has an ice or metal trait, give him a tough status card. He is tough. 4 damage, takes Brawn out. And we move first player. So over here, bring in the Helicarrier with strength and the God of Thunder. Then we're going to bring in some combat training, giving us +1 attack, so we're swinging for 4 now. So we can take him out, put him in a counter card, and we're done for Kamala. She's going to do her power and sneak by. Then we'll use his ability. See, Bruno's always a good idea. But then again, so is Nick. So we'll put Nick on the bottom. So we found Quake. Make the next card we play this phase 1 cheaper. We'll go ahead and flip over. Bring in our Helicarrier. Mockingbird's attacking to get rid of tough. Let's see, what all we got here? Just 10. Make our next card 1 cheaper. And use that as a mental resource to remove 4, 6 threat. Then we'll go ahead and bring that back to her hand. Then we're going to bring in Quake. And she'll attack for 2. down to 24. Then we're going to do some under surveillance. Attach to the main scheme to increase its value up by 4. So now instead of going to 24, it goes to 28. And actually could have made that cheaper. It's one of those cards do I really want to keep. Yeah, we'll make that cost one less so we can keep counterintelligence in our hand. Then in the round, so drawing 4 more on this side. Wiggle room, endurance, daredevil, and another endurance. 4 on this, get her helmet, Lady Sif, Genius, and Valkyrie. So 2 more threats, going up to 6. Get another counter. Absorbing is attacking on this side. Quake will defend for 1, 2, 3. Then attacking over here for 4. And counter cards. So Dense Force, Surge. So now if it's an undefended attack, we're taking 1 indirect damage. 2 if there's 5 or more delay counters. And that's going into a cutoff guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. Unfortunately, these cards are great for that treachery. Then over here, he's going to scheme for 2. Put this card in play, so it's just put in play. And he's going to attack. And we will defend. So 2, if he has ice or metal, give him a tough status card. That gets annoying. So 4 damage coming our way. We block 1, take 3 down to 5. First player changes. Oops, take that back just 1 step. We were at 8. We were defending, hero interrupt. When you would take any amount of damage, prevent 3 of that damage and draw a card. No reason not to do that. Into red dagger. So we're going to go ahead and flip over. Then use Amir's ability. To put Embiggen into play and draw a card. It should be Nick. We'll make our next card 1 cheaper. Same thing again. So we'll bring Nick Fury into play to draw 3 cards with. We're going to draw 1, get in a counter card, and shuffle and draw 2 more. Genius and downtime. Then we're going to bring in Daredevil. So after he thwarts, deal damage to an enemy. So he's going to thwart for 2. And the damage will get rid of toughness. Fury will thwart for 2. Then we're going to give us some endurance over here. So plus 3 hit points. Up to 11. Then on this side, we're swinging for 4. Down to 20. We'll bring Lady Sif in with her 2 Gods of Thunder. After she enters play, we ready Thor. Swing for another 4. Down to 16. Swing for 2. Down to 14. Next card 1 cheaper. We'll bring her in our helmet to give us plus 5 hit points. And end her turn. So drawing 6 cards for Justice, Spycraft, Clear the Area, Strength, Big Hands, and Sneak By. 4 cards over here, Defender of the Nine Realms, Lightning Strike, Hammer Throw, and Hall of Heroes. So 2 more threats, another counter. Scheming over here for base 2, 3, 4. So we're up to 10. Attacking over here, Nick Fury jumps in for 1, 2, 3, 4. And counter cards. First one, Swinging Stone for an alter ego. He's going to scheme. He has a stone trait. He doesn't. So just a regular scheme for 1, 2, 3. So reveal this card, attach to him. We can spend a physical resource to shuffle this back in the encounter deck. So we're at 13. Then a Rocky Outcrop, so this gets surged. So now if it's undefended, we heal a damage from him. And he's going to scheme again. Good grief. So 3, 4, 5. So just like that, he's up to 18. And he's stalling. Place a threat on the main scheme for every 2 delay counters. So we've got 4, so we're getting 2 more threats. All right, we're out to 20. So we will swing for 4. Down to 10. Swing for 2, down to 8. Going to do a hammer throw, using that for 1 resource. Those for the others. Exhaust our hammer. Deal 8 damage to an enemy. Return this to our hand, and it gets overkill. So that is going to finish off the first version that we're dealing with. Next version has a scheme of 2, attack of 3. He gains the trait of each environment in play. After he activates against you, if he has ice or stone, we're going to place 1 threat on the main scheme. Metal or wood, we take 1 indirect damage. And 32 health. Then we're going to put our hammer back in play. And tell our student over here to deal with some of that threat. So she will start with using her ability. We found Red Dagger. We'll use a mirror. We're going to put Nick Fury back on the bottom. And draw a card into a Sneak By. Make the next card we play this phase 1 cheaper. And then flip over. And he should be ready. So Red Dagger's 1 cheaper. We'll bring him in. He's going to thwart for 2. Along with Daredevil thwarting for 2. So that's 4 down. And he deals the damage to an enemy after he thwarts. Then we'll play for Justice, using that as a mental. And shrink, so we can remove 6 threat. And we'll bring this back to our hand. Make our next card 1 cheaper. Play for Justice again to remove 4 threat. And we're going Big Hands to deal 4 damage to an enemy. So down to 27. Probably could have used that helicarrier to save a card, but feel pretty good there. So So discard Hall of Heroes, drawing 4 cards, Battle Fury, Relentless Assault, Spider Girl, and Get Over Here. 5 cards on this side. Wiggle Room, Quake, clear the area for justice and sneak by. So 2 threat, another marker. Attack, Lady Sif defends for 4. So after he activates, we're stone. So we're placing a threat on the main scheme. 4, 5, 6 damage. Attacking over here. Another threat on the main scheme. For 5 damage. Counter cards. Shadows of the Past. All right, we're getting our Nemesis, our side scheme, and 3 more cards shuffled into the encounter deck. And I hate Loki. Scheme of 2, attack of 2, 4 health. Interrupt when he would be defeated. Discard the top card of the encounter deck. That card is a treachery. Heal all damage from Loki instead. Then we have a Family Feud. When revealed, place an additional threat here for each Asgard card in play. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's coming in with 7. Then 2 Frost Giants and Trickster get shuffled into these not so many cards. So we'll try to separate those as much as possible. The only good thing about that is we get to draw 2 cards. So Power of Aggression and the Hulk. Over here, we've got an Avalanche. When revealed, each player must choose to either spend a energy resource or take 2 indirect damage. 3 indirect damage if there's 5 or more delay counters. So we're getting 4 threat on that one. And here I thought things were going good. All right, we're going to discard Wiggle Room over here. And Get Over Here over here. Pass first player. Don't think I'm doing 27 damage this round. We are going to deal with a little threat. We'll take that over here. Then for suit, clear the area, remove 2 threat from a scheme, and then draw a card. Since we're finishing off the Avalanche threat. Getting Mockingbird. And I'll use her ability to return that back to her hand. To make her next card cheaper. And so the next card is going to be 2 cheaper. So we're going to bring in Mockingbird and stun an enemy. And attack for 1. Then we're going to bring Quake in and attack for 2. Down to 24. And I think that's all we've got on this side. Forgot to shrink. That might come back to haunt me. So on this side, we're bringing in Spider Girl. She's going to stun and confuse a minion. Take that, Loki. And attacking for 2, down to 22. Then we're using both of these to bring in the Hulk. And I'm afraid if I attack within, I'm going to kill everybody. So he's just going to stand there. Then I'll bring in Battle Fury. Play under any player's control. After your hero attacks and defeats a minion, deal damage to your hero and discard Battle Fury to ready your hero. Then we're going to swing for 4, taking him down to 18. And end our turn. Drawing 4 cards over here. Hammer Throw, Mean Swing, Defender of the Nine Realms, and Counter Attack. 5 cards on this side. Spider-Man, Big Hands, Power of Justice, Wiggle Room, and Clear the Area. All right, so 2 threats. Another counter, so we're up to 6 there. Actually, it's wrong. It's 3 threat now. 2 there, 1 plus that one. So just swap these out to help my math skills. So we're up to 13. Absorbing Man's going to attack over here, lose stunned. Going to attack over here. Spider Girl's going to defend. First, since he's got the stone trait, threat. 4, 5 damage. Then Loki is stunned. Get rid of that. And counter cards. Master Plan. Place 4 threat on each side scheme, which we've got. And an avalanche. Let's either choose to spend an energy resource or take 3 indirect damage. So we'll get rid of the energy over here. We're going to take the 3 damage on this side down to 16. Pass first player. Thor's swinging for 4. We'll interrupt that. No, we won't, because that gets rid of our hammer throw. Never mind. All right, just swinging for 4. Down to 14. Actually, rewind back up to 18. We will start with the hammer throw, using these to pay for it. Exhaust Mjolnir. Deal 8 damage to an enemy. Return this to her hand, and it's got overkill. So it's down to 10. Then we'll put it back in play. Then attack for 4. Do an interrupt to exhaust our hammer to add 3. So 7 damage down to 3 health. Hulk could do it, but we're not going to let him. We're going to go over to Miss Marvel. Make her next card 1 cheaper. Then for an event, use Big Hands for 4 damage to take down Absorbing Man. And of course, we had plenty more attack to go. So for our victory conditions, record the number of delay counters on the main scheme in the campaign log. I'm showing 6. After I watch the video, if I miss something, I'll add some for later. Each player may choose one of the basic condition upgrades in the campaign set. Attach it to their identity and add it to your deck in the campaign log. Then we're going to record each identity's remaining hit points. So we're at 16, which is above our max. So we'll be starting next round at full. Same thing on this side. We're above our max. Looking at our basic upgrades, they're all permanent setups. Thwart upgrade, plus 2 hit points, plus 1 thwart. Defense, plus 3 hit points, plus 1 defense. Basic recovery, plus 4 hit points, plus 1 recovery. And basic attack, plus 1 hit point and plus 1 attack. I hate the hit points, but I do like the plus 1 attack over here on Thor. And even though she's doing all my thwart work, I really haven't been thwarting with her. It's all been on her cards, so I did do a couple defense. I think I'm just going to go for the max hit points with her. Give her the defensive upgrade, plus 4 hit points, plus 1 recovery. So next on the agenda is going to be Taskmaster. And for our deck construction, with Thor, 2 Power of Aggressions, 3 Get Over Heres, 3 Relentless Assaults, 3 Mean Swings, the Hulk, Spider-Girl, Valkyrie, Brawn, Tigra, then a whole lot of one-offs, Combat Training, Battle Fury, Counterattack, Hall of Heroes, and another Asgard weapon. Basics, we've got our 3 resource cards, Mockingbird, and a Helicarrier. For Miss Marvel, 2 Power of Justice, 3 Clear the Area, 3 For Justice, Under Surveillance, Spider-Man, Quake, Daredevil, Agent Coulson, and then Counterintelligence and Spycraft. And the basic cards are 3 Resources, Helicarrier, 2 Endurance, 2 Downtime, Mockingbird, and Nick Fury. That's the deck construction for taking on Absorbing Man. As always, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. If so, please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.